In today's stat breakdown, I wanted to cover Gen.G's SnD dominance in Division A during the first split of the Pro League. So currently they sit at a 6-1 match record, which is at the top of the entire Pro League, and that can mainly be attributed to how well they're doing in this Search and Destroy game mode. We'll go over some team and player stats, then I'll go over the scores for all of their SnD maps, and then lastly I'll give you my MVP for Gen.G in their SnD during this first split of the Pro League. So to start, their record is still 9-0. They're still perfect in Search and Destroy, and I cannot stress how important it is to be good in Search and Destroy and play well in such a game mode that where it pops up twice in a series, especially in the last map of the entire series. Time and time again, we see that SnD wins championships, and to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen a team be so dominant in Search and Destroy throughout like 2 weeks of a Pro League ever. So a really good start for Gen.G in this Pro League, and let's see if they can continue this SnD dominance at the Fort Worth. So their round win percentage, 71%. Later we'll go over the scores for all of the maps, but 71% is super high. Think about it. You're winning 7 out of every 10 rounds. That's very, very high for a round win percentage, and I think the second largest number there for any team is like 55%. So they're really making a big case for being the best SnD team in the world right now. Obviously, you could say that's Optic Gaming with Dashi, but we haven't really seen them play SnD with Dashi since CWL Vegas. So for right now, with the recency of Gen.G's play in the Pro League, you can definitely make the case for it. Their team KD 1.5. This again is the first in the entire Pro League, and again, it's a really, really impressive number. Think about it. You're getting a 1.5 KD for the entire team, not even just one player. And then lastly, you see their first blood percentage, again, #1 in the Pro League at 67%. Every 3 rounds, they're getting at least 2 of those first bloods. And we've known for many years now how important it actually really is to get first blood in a Search and Destroy round. So a 67% is very, very high, and it's a good look for an SnD team. So going over to the player stats, and as you can see, these green numbers are just popping out of everywhere, all of these top 10s, and yeah, so Havoc 1.67 with this #2, Major Maniac 1.53 with the #3, Mox 1.78 with the #1, and Nagafin 1.43 with the #6. They have 4 players in the top 6 SnD KDs after the first split of the Pro League. This dominance is just, I've never even seen it, and it's actually crazy how well they're able to do as a team. And not to take anything away from Spacey, he still has a 1.15, which is nothing to bat an eye at. That's still a good, respectable KD. You're still going positive by a large amount. And for them all to be over positive and all almost to be over 1.4, that's absolutely insane. And I don't think anything can like top that for like dominant stats throughout this first split of the Pro League. And you go over to score per round, and you have the #1 and #2 with Havoc and Mox respectively. And then you also have Nagafin with the #5. So again, they were just completely dominant in this, and I really think that their SnD play will carry over to Fort Worth, and that'll be their really big strong point and could take them far in the entire tournament. Let's move on. Alright, so let's look at the individual game scores for Gen.G in their matches during Division A. 6-2 versus Red Reserve, 6-4 versus Reciprocity, 6-3 versus EG, LG, and then LG again. A clean 6-0 versus UIU, a 6-4 and a 6-2 victory over Optic Gaming, and then lastly a 6-1 Midnight versus Midnight in their last match of the Pro League. So again, all wins, obviously, since we knew they were undefeated, but what I really wanted to take away from here is how well they were limiting their opponents to rounds. It's not like they were winning and getting to round 11s or round 10s. In 7 of their 9 SnDs, the other team didn't even score 4 more points. Like, this is just unreal how well they were actually doing. I mean, you could say, make the case that, oh, if someone has a really good SnD record, they could just be winning in those close rounds. But, I mean, these were blowouts for the most part. Think about it, like 6-1s, 6-2s, and 6-3s are basically all they're getting, except against Reciprocity and Optic Gaming in one map. So, or one map each. So, yeah, this is a really, really dominant performance by Gen.G in Search and Destroy, and those scores can just those scores are just a testament to that. moving on to my SnD MVP for Gen.G, it's going to be Havoc. I think if you look specifically at how well he's playing his role and how well his stats actually are in SnD, it's unreal what he's doing, or what he did in the first split, I should say. So again, he was wrecking havoc. That's the title of the screen. I know it's a little bit corny, but I thought it was justified and needed for these stats that he actually put up in Division A. So again, all with an SMG. He was a number two KD, as we highlighted before. He was a number 1 in first blood percentage at a 22.4%. So think about over 1 in 5 rounds he's getting a first blood for his team. That's absolutely insane, and I don't think anyone even came close. I think the next closest was 18%. His F bar, which is, I don't know if you guys know, it's the difference between your first blood percentage and your first death percentage, was plus 11.8%, which is the third highest. Again, a really good performance in that category. So he was getting a lot of first bloods, and he wasn't really getting first blood at all. So that's obviously what you want to do for your aggressive search and destroy SMG player that's getting in those initial gunfights. Later on, his score per round, 169 score per round. That's number 1 in the entire Pro League. Damage per round, 194. Again, top 10 in the Pro League at 8. And then lastly, his engagements per round with a 2.09, number 1 in the entire Pro League. So I think he was definitely my MVP for Gen.G and SnD, and probably the best SnD player of the first split of the Pro League, just because of the role he was playing as an aggressive initial gunfight SMG, and he was getting in a lot of engagements and putting up a seriously high KD and getting a lot of first bloods without getting first blooded. So really important for a player to do that as your aggressive like initial gunfight SMG, and I think Havoc played that perfectly in the first split. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope you really like this little breakdown of Gen.G's search and destroy stats throughout the first split. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.